In this video, we're going to look at how SPSS can perform analyses on subgroups based on determinations from different variables. So often when doing a analysis, there are some cases that you may want to exclude. Say you're doing a survey and you want to exclude anybody who is under the age of 18, or you're analyzing some other data set or variable and realize that there's some missing values that have been miscoded or something that you want to exclude from the analysis. And SPSS offers a couple of different tools to do that. Additionally, sometimes in reporting, you want to do the exact same analysis for each subgroup. So maybe you want to break down an analysis of descriptives, and you want to do that breakdown by gender. So you want to look at the average values for males and then the average values for females, etc. And both of these are very easy to implement in SPSS. So we'll start with the first one. With our data set, you'll notice that I have a variety of different countries, but it may be the case that for a particular study or for a particular purpose, all I really want to do is look at the variables within the US. That is, I want to only use participants who are in the United States. Now, for the sake of demonstration, what I'm going to first do is go up and run descriptive statistics with a basic variable. I'll run frequencies on our current gender variable. Select OK, and now I have a comparison. So this is the gender breakdown within everybody from all countries. To run this analysis for just individuals in the United States, I'm going to be using my data menu. And this is actually where both of our types of subsetting can happen in SPSS. Now, to use the type where I want to just select individuals who are in a certain case, I'm going to scroll down to Select Cases. And right now you'll see that I'm selecting all cases. That is, all of my analyses are analyzing all cases. For my particular case, I want to do when country is the United States. So what I'll select is if a condition is satisfied, and then I'll click on If to specify the condition. I'll right-click to see the variable names, and what I would like is for country to be equal to United States. And I need to use the exact coding that's listed in the country variable, that is a capital U and S. And because the country variable is a string, that is text, I'm going to make sure that I include quotes around that. If I were doing something like gender, I would write gender equals the number 1 without quotes, because for numbers we don't have to include quotes, just for the text. I hit continue, and now what's going to happen is SPSS is going to filter out select cases. Now we do have a couple of options. We could copy all of the United States observations into a new data set and create a new data set, or I could delete all of the cases that I don't want, and I highly recommend not doing this option unless you've already saved a backup copy of your data set and are working with a new copy of your data set where you can play around and still have access to the original if you accidentally delete data. So be careful about the delete, but copying to a new data set can be pretty useful sometimes. For now, I'll just filter out the unselected cases and select OK. This is my previous frequency, but if I scroll back to my data, you'll note that now, instead of a range of countries being listed in country, I don't see all of the other countries. I only see the ones where the country was equal to US, United States. Any analysis I run now also will be referring to just those individuals who are in the United States. So if I run the same frequency on gender, you'll see that the numbers have changed. The first number of males, frequency was 14,357. Now the frequency is 5,825. You can see that I have 15,989 individuals within my United States sample, whereas with the entire world sample, I had 36,118 participants. Now, it might be the case that you want to change this back. I've run my analysis just within the United States. I see the results are comparable or not comparable, or have done whatever additional calculations I need to, and now I need to go back to be able to include all participants in my analysis. How we do this is we go back to the same menu, Data, Select Cases, and here, instead of selecting if condition is satisfied, that is if the country is United States, I simply reselect all cases, which was the default option, and hit OK. On doing this, you can see that my other countries have now appeared back in the data set, and if I run any analyses, these analyses will now match the first one, which is using all of the observations in the data. All right, so that's been how to look at a particular subset of individuals. Let's talk about how we can run analyses that automatically calculate multiple subsets. So here I'm going to go on and X out of my output so that I start with a fresh output screen. For a context of when I might want to do this, consider if I wanted to run one of the analyses for males and one of the analyses for females. So let's say I want to look at age, and I want to do age broken down by males and look at the descriptives of age for females. Now, currently I know how to do descriptives of age. I'll go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Descriptives, and I move in the age column and hit OK. This is how I do my descriptives for age. But how do I break it down by male and female and other? Well, I could do the process that I just indicated. Go to Data, go to Select Cases, and only select when gender equals 1 and rerun that analysis. And then do the exact same thing, Data, gender equals 2, rerun that analysis. Data, gender equals 3, and rerun that analysis. And that would give me exactly the results that I'm looking for. But when I'm trying to do something where I want to repeat the same analysis for every single value within a categorical variable, there's a quicker way in SPSS. Within the Data menu, go down to Split File. For Split File, this is a way that I can rerun the analysis for every subset of a particular group or a particular variable. In this case, I'm going to select Organize Group by Output and then move gender into the output. So I'm going to group my output based on gender. I'm going to select OK, and what you're going to see is that SPSS is going to sort the data set now by gender. So if I go to my data, I'm going to see gender is placed first, gender 0 is placed first, then gender 1, then gender 2, etc. So this sorting feature is something that has to happen before SPSS can break down our output by that variable. I can go to Analyze, and then Descriptive Statistics and Descriptives. And when I run age, now you're going to see something that's a little bit different. Previously, when I ran age, I had the minimum, the maximum, the mean, the standard deviation. But now when I ran age, I have 3 or 4 different options. First, I see the age, of course this is the label for age, equals 0, and I see the breakdown of age within that. This is our missing data. Then I see the age male and the breakdown within males. Next, I see the age female, the breakdown within females, and then the age other, I keep saying age, the gender 0, the gender male, the gender female, and the gender other. And I see the breakdown of age within each of these. Again, could I have found this by going to Data, Select Cases, and running each of these individually? Absolutely, you could for sure do that. However, this is a much quicker way when I'd like to see, say, the age broken down by male, female, and other, and really quickly want to access the means and standard deviations for comparison. Quickly, I can see something that we've seen in a previous plot, that male and female both have comparable ages, but other had a slightly younger age on average. Note, if I want to undo this, I simply go Data, Split File, and again, Analyze all cases instead of Organize Group by Output. So reselecting that default option. And it's important after you're done with breaking down the data by the variable that you wanted to break it down by, that you do select that, because that can be a very, very confusing thing if you forget to select that. So it's very important to make sure that you are selecting to go back to the default where it's analyzing all the cases as opposed to leaving that split cases on. And same thing, frankly, with the select cases. So split file select case is very useful, but it's important after you're done with them to make sure you reset them back to their defaults, because otherwise you're going to get some very confusing results, and that might lead you down a wrong track. In any case, this video has been how we can implement subgroup analyses in SPSS, either using the Data Select Cases menu to assess one particular subgroup, or the Data Split File menu, where we want to analyze subgroups for each category within a categorical variable.